are now asking everyone to go and start working.
Elections. Dumebi Kachiko has alleged that the newly formed opposition coalition is a calculated scheme designed to produce former Vice President Atiku'S as a presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. Kachiko made the remarks during a press briefing in Abuja today. According to him, a faction of the ADC, now led by former Senate President David Mark, has hijacked the party to serve a northern political agenda. He said the coalition under the guise of rescuing Nigeria was a vehicle for Atiku'S bid for the presidency. According to him, the leaders behind the movement made their intentions clear in a private meeting with him, repeatedly emphasizing their desire to take their power back. His claims come just a day after opposition politicians, including Atiku, Labour Party's Peter Obi, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir Al-Rufai, former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, and others, formally launched the coalition at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center in Abuja. The coalition adopted the ADC as its political platform, following the resolution.
Who controls both the rich and the poor? When he moves, there's an exodus. When he speaks, there's a revelation. And when he decides to act, there will be tsunami. Loved by Nigerians from all walks of life. Suicide governor of Anambra State. The leader of the Obi'S movement. Known simply as Uba.
Sorry, sir. He says they open the license. Hey! Oh, bastard, you're going positive.
Please, I will settle down, please. So I will settle down, please. Let's settle down. The program that I will have, please, I will are now asking everyone to go and start working.
Well, we're watching a political melodramatic performance by politicians in Nigeria. Talking about Peter Obi, I think he needs to watch it because he gathered momentum and created an incredible coalition or political movement that especially the youth demography in Nigeria embraced. He needs to be very careful. I look at him as one who is between the rock and the hard place. I don't know if it will be wise on his part to take on the role of a vice president or even a presidential candidate in the emerging political scenario, which is the more or less like a convergence of all the political bigwigs in Nigeria into one new political entity. We don't know what the outcome will look like. The politics of money still plays role in Nigeria. Anyone with the deepest pocket would find his way to the echelon of leadership. And so, that said, Peter Obi needs to watch it, So, one wrong move will take away all his political dividends.
Now, what's the other trifecta that we saw emerging yesterday? It was Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, And of course, in my opinion, Nasir El-Rufai, as somebody who was said to have been a key player in helping President Tinubu navigate through all of the hurdles that were mounted up against him in the run-up to the 2023 election. In this, you have two formidable forces that are going to come together and meet. Now, the coalition still has many challenges ahead of it. As much as yesterday was a lot of fanfare, we even enjoyed a new song from Senator Dino Melaye, and it was convincing. But it still stands to be seen, as critics have argued, still stands to be seen whether this coalition has the potential to attract the interest and the excitement of the grassroots. That is yet to be seen. Minister Festus Keyamo also raised an important point yesterday, where he said that, well, one cannot legally belong to multiple political parties. So we still have the issue of political tourists that are involved in this ADC. Yes, we've seen a number of people decamping. We've seen Senator David Mark decamping, send his resignation from the PDP. We've seen Rotimi Amechi resigning. Abubakar Malami has also left the ruling party. However, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Nasir El-Rufai, we're still waiting to see what their moves are, because for now they still remain political tourists. How will that play out, and how definitive will it make their role as we count down to the election? So these are some of the issues that I feel that are pertinent as we continue to work our way towards how the dynamics will play out between this coalition and the ruling party. As for the PDP...
Interesting times ahead. They have gathered. Some call it the gathering of the vultures. Some call them the gathering of champions. Some call it the gathering of charlatans. Some call them a tsunami come 2027. That Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder that will soon explode. The Atiku'S of this world, Sule Lamidos, David Mark, Amechi's, El-Rufai, who is who in Nigerian politics, they have come together to try to wrestle power from one man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is considered the godfather of Nigerian politics. Will he succeed? Some argue that this recycling of these old faces represent the old order, that one man, Peter Gregory Obi, does not belong here, because Obi represents the hope of millions of Nigerians who are simply hoping for a new Nigeria. Through him, he says a new Nigeria is possible. But with the recycling of these old faces and these old politicians who actually, some argue, plague Nigerian economy to what it is today, will there be a hope for a new Nigeria with them? Or will they give the presidential ticket to Obi, thereby fulfilling the hope of a common Nigeria that a new Nigeria is possible? Some say also that through ADC, that a political trap has been set for Obi. Like the analyst said, El-Rufai has not resigned his membership of SDP, Peter Obi has not resigned his membership of Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar has not resigned his membership of People's Democratic Party. What game are they up to? Your guess is as good as mine. But will Obi fall into this trap? Or will Atiku Abubakar realize that when the Ijele masquerade is the most beautiful masquerade in the southeast of Nigeria, when it overstays in the arena, the uninitiated will throw sand at it. Will Atiku realize that and bow out honorably by giving Obi the presidential slot, knowing that it is the turn of the southeast according to Nigerians? Will he also miscalculate this time around? He did miscalculate in 2023, and that miscalculation led to the death of the biggest opposition party in Nigeria, the People's Democratic Party. Get in the comment section and let me know what you think. Will Obi take a decisive step and reject the VP slot, or will he fall beyond or below the expectation of the common people of Nigeria by accepting that, thereby killing the hopes of Nigeria that a new Nigeria is possible? Let me know what you think. But remember, see something, say something, do something. Keep hope alive and keep in touch by subscribing to this YouTube channel, share the video, and please like it. Until we meet again in this arena, this is Chris Digos. Cheers.
Really the issue when it comes to position conversation. Whatever he does, however he does it, will be discussed. sometimes when people are still at the planning stage, there's always a tendency for Nigerians to jump into conclusion. They speculate and jump. So for me, I will prefer that the media should wait for him to take whatever decision he wants to take. In the case of Peter B, I think Peter must be the biggest fish in the ocean now when it comes to opposition play. And that has nothing to do with reducing the value of the others. You must see that until Peter came in 2023 and ran that race he ran, it almost seemed like Nigeria was bipolar, left or right, left or right. Peter is a guy that really actually introduced the audacity of a third force in the real sense. People have tried it before, but some guys have always been obsessed with the idea of a third force, never really flown. But once Peter had got into that space, then the third force has become some kind of reality in his mind. And really people crave for it. But what will Peter do? Peter will have to be smart. He has to understand that sometimes when you have gotten to a certain position, you shouldn't allow yourself to be carried back to the position you were before you took the risk of getting to that position. But hey, it's Peter's call. If he wants to go to SDP, the question Peter will have to ask himself is that what great value does SDP bring for him as an individual that Labour did not bring? If he thinks SDP has more structure, okay, good point. He's going to find out it's not always that the grass is greener on the other side. The other question he's going to have to ask himself is that when a lot of young people are always looking at him, or already looking at him as the go-to guy, the guy that represents their anger, their energy, whatever it is that they say Peter represents, will you not go and dilute people who, you know? So Peter will have to be Peter. But when he makes up his mind, and Peter is quite capable of bringing surprises. I remember in the build up to 2019, I mean, I know myself very well, and he knows too, I put a lot of pressure on him to run under PDP. My great expectation at that time was that if he had gone through the whole primary process, well, I knew he was popular with young people. But he didn't even know that population was that much. But I kept telling him, Peter, the people are, because it's the kind of thing I'm interested in. I'd hope that he would buy the ticket, which he did, and I'd hope that he would go through the primary, which plus or minus he may not win. Even if he didn't win, I knew that everybody would have been absolutely sure that Peter had to be on the ticket. So I was like kind of like looking forward to the 2019 experience, which I was a spokesperson, Atiku'S. I knew that if they had been wise enough, fact on the ground deciding their action, they would have known that that's the only ticket that can win. But they didn't do that.